I could have sworn I remembered someone named Mark being here.
Okay. I guess I did. Sorry, audience. I did it in between episodes. Speletons, Zinker, Derek, no Mark. I was just joking there. Okay. Fuck. Okay.
I mean...
Today, which
You're
I
right
mean
there.
like about maybe 2 hours ago, I was considering discussion topics. And I thought in my head, what would be the first thing I'd do if I was a boomer? Or what would be the only thing I'd do if I was a boomer? Like, what sort of what are solutions to problems I would come up with if I were a boomer? And it was clear to me. It stood out like a shining example. Build a wall. Thinking of all the political nature behind that. Well, for whatever problem it is, you know? And then I thought about this. I'm like, wait a second. This would work, right? So what is the number one, besides the current quarantine? We'll come back to that one. Besides that one, what is like the number one overall political fear that us millennials have that boomers are just rapidly ignoring what top scientists are saying?
Global warming?
Yeah, that one, right? Now think about it, right? What if we build a wall? If we encase the entire planet in a wall, how's the world gonna get
That'd be
warm?
flat for us to do that.
Sun, no, we can do a spherical wall. A spherical wall, Derek.
What?
Right?
Are we
And then
building
think
a
about it.
ceiling?
Think about it. The sun couldn't shine anywhere. No, Derek, this wouldn't be a
So we're
ceiling, it
building a
would be a
ceiling.
wall. Also, what's a ceiling with just a wall
Where
in
do
the sky?
we live, though?
What?
Well, yeah, but like that's what I'm saying. Is it have to be a wall in the sky? It have to be above us.
Well, yeah, it's a wall.
We can't just exist in the
It
wall.
goes around the entire planet.
Okay,
No
so it's a
sunlight
ceiling.
anywhere. No global warming. Problem solved. You can't deny. It's the perfect solution.
Bring this up to top scientists.
No, Derek.
I literally,
Top
I feel like
scientists
I
don't
can,
have a
but-
word. They've been saying global warming's a problem and telling us solutions of how to fix it, and no one cares. But
Bring this up to
boomers,
top scientists so someone can build it. Like,
they really care about walls.
what are you gonna make the wall out of?
They'll build a wall. Derek, that's the beauty of a wall. You can build it out of whatever you want. As
No,
long as
Zinker,
it's
boomers
acting
aren't
as a
gonna
wall.
build the wall. They're gonna complain that millennials aren't building the wall.
Derek, we build a wall. All right, so look, the problem, millennials are complaining about, boomers. No, millennials are complaining about walls. I don't know. Solution: build a wall. They can't complain about a wall if I can't hear them because they're on the other side of a wall. Quarantine time. Everyone needs to
Well, I mean, they're
quarantine.
still complaining, but-
Protect each other from the virus. Build a wall. Can't go to the grocery store if there's a wall
I
in
was
front of
gonna
your way.
Also, for global warming, I thought what you're gonna say was just build a wall around the country, so then like we won't be able, like none of the water will get in.
See, that works too.
But I was
and
gonna
we
say,
keep the sun.
well, Zinker, that really doesn't. There's an underwater city called as New Orleans.
Derek, you build a wall.
That's what they did. They ended up underwater during Hurricane Katrina.
Are they still underwater? They clearly didn't build.
I don't
Alright,
know.
Derek, but here's the. You have to still build a proper wall. You can't just do a half-ass job and be like, I'm done. You gotta build the full wall. There's a wall big enough that would have stopped Hurricane Katrina. Would have prevented the Hurricane Katrina from even existing. Well, you know, from getting through. Hurricane Katrina can only do so much to, like, the biggest of walls.
I guess they haven't. New Orleans still hasn't recovered, but like, I don't think they're. I don't think they're underwater anymore, but they're gonna be again, probably.
After global warming, yeah,
They
I
also
got
get
that.
heavy rains.
Which is why we build a wall around the entirety of the planet. Then, there won't be. Problem solved. See, I know what I'm talking
Zinker,
about.
how are we gonna see? We won't have any sunlight.
Derek, I got I got the perfect solution, buddy. Build a wall, a glowing wall this time. So after we built a planet-wide
Build a shiny wall.
build another planet-wide wall that's just one giant light. That we can turn on and off when it's time for night and day. Perfect! Problem solved!
Completely flawless.
Derek, modern problems require modern solutions. Go ahead, Derek, go ahead. Name me a problem that... name me a problem and I can solve it. Any problem.
Tax evasion.
Are we evading taxes or catching people that are evading taxes?
Well, people are evading taxes, and it's a problem.
Okay, so here's the deal, right? You gotta build. So you gotta build a wall. That way, you stop their way from chasing. They can't evade if there's a wall in front of them. And then you get out of your cop wall and you arrest them. It's that easy. You stop. You stop the. Oh, I'm not even looking at the tie rogue. Oh my god. They can't evade taxes if there's a wall in front of them. Even better.
I feel like they can. That's not.
You build. Oh wait, I'm not trying to
quite
kill
what
that
tax
Cacnea.
evasion is.
Even better, Derek. Right? When it's tax
I'm here to
time,
rescue you, flamethrower.
build a wall around everyone's house, and they have to put their tax information
Isn't that just
into
another
this wall.
house?
What? No, there won't be a ceiling. So it can't. A house needs to be at least one room.
We built a ceiling around the Earth.
No, that's a wall. A spherical wall. That's different, Derek. It's not. And also, we built 2 walls, remember? One for global warming, 2 to turn the lights on and off. Alright, give me another problem, like there. Right? You want to get a date, right?
Paying for the walls.
Build a wall. How are we paying for the walls, Derek? Build a wall. It's easy. You build a wall, you can sell it. Bam. Instant money.
What, you like sell people the wall? Do you sell people the walls around their property?
Well, you just sell them walls in general.
You know, like how you have,
People
like,
need
mineral
walls,
rights?
Derek. Can't build a room without a wall. So, there's a market for walls. So you market walls, you sell the walls to get money, which you use to pay for bigger walls to protect us from global warming. It's the perfect solution.
See, I can see my dad saying this. And like having this exact argument where like no matter how much I bring reason in.
Derek, I told you, I got to this by thinking, huh, what's the most boomer solution I could think of? Build a wall. It's what it is. But you know what? I gotta give him credit.
My most boomer solution to everything is blast it.
No, Derek, that's the one that went to war with Vietnam. And I honestly understand why they picked that.
Well, we blast it.
Yeah, but no. Okay, but here's the deal. Like, you can't blast away global warming. That is stupid. But you can build a wall that stops the sun from coming in. How do you blast it?
Zinker, we'll blast away. We'll blast away the sun.
That will kill us. Sun explodes and we die.
So will your spherical wall.
No, it won't. It'll just stop the sunlight from coming on in.
Okay, Zinker. How about this then? We'll blow up the ocean.
Why would you blow up the ocean? We need water.
So it can't rise.
The ocean isn't the problem.
We're not gonna blow it up completely.
Derek, see, this is the difference between your blast solution and build a wall solution. If the ocean's a problem, we can build a wall over the ocean, and thus, we never have to deal with the ocean again. That's practically what a bridge is, but this would be a wall. A wall is completely different from a bridge, but it's also practically what a bridge is. It's just a wall that crosses the
rivers just a land
usually. What was I saying? Alright, but here's the deal. To Boomer's credit,
we'll blast the glaciers.
You can solve.
We'll blast them. You know what? We'll blast them into space.
You can solve.
We'll just take the. We'll just
that's
take
not
the excess
blasting. That's launching things into space.
space.
They don't believe that happened, Derek. They think the moon landing's fake. That's that generation, and maybe Boomers. I'm not sure.
Zinker, you don't have to launch. You don't have to launch it on a rocket. You just, you know what you do? You just load it in a cannon and you blast it into space.
That's launching into space. It's not blasting it. Blasting it's shooting it, buddy.
Okay, Zinker, they don't. The moon. Okay, but the moon landing's different than like an ICBM.
And here's the deal, right? We need to get to the moon.
And they believe in those.
Perfect solution. Build a wall to the moon.
We don't have to.
You can climb a wall.
We don't have to get to the moon. We just have to get it out.
Derek, I'm ignoring your blast away glacier thing because, as I already told you, that's launching into space. That's not blasting the glaciers. That's not how they solve. They don't solve things by launching into space. That's like
space.
That's Gen Z's solution.
Yes,
to everything.
they do, Zinker. They launch. Yes, they do, Zinker. That's what an intercontinental ballistic missile does. It goes up into the atmosphere and comes back down. The difference is this doesn't come back down.
Okay, so you're launching it into space then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we just they don't. The extra water.
Derek, the generation before Boomers, I don't remember what they're called, so I'm just gonna call them Goomers. Goomer, because you know, like Gilf. Goomers, they don't even believe in space. They're flat earthers, buddy. But now, here's the deal. People think the Earth is flat. Build a wall. You can see the curvature of a wall.
If you want to call that launching into space. If we blast it hard enough, it'll evaporate into the.
Why would you even launch anything into space?
It won't be on the Earth
when you can launch it with a wall.
Well, that's a catapult. That's different. At some point, Zinker, things cease to be
not a catapult.
Or something ceases to be a wall.
No, you have a wall, and you just kind of like roll stuff up it.
Well, that's a ramp.
You're right, but if we attach like a wall, something that moves along a wall, like another wall, for example, you know how they have those sliding walls? So we have a sliding wall, and we attach stuff to that wall, and then we slide it up the wall into space. This is the perfect solution.
Ramp,
we can solve any problem. Any problem.
Well, I guess or you just blast it. You just You know, you blast the waters and it gets
Blast
hot,
away the wall.
it's in the atmosphere. It's
Derek,
not
you're
problem.
not a goomer, and you haven't convinced me you are one. But now I might believe you're a zoomer. That might be worse. That's for you to decide.
Zinker, I'm blowing it up. Zinker, I'm blowing it up so it evaporates.
No, you're
I'm
launching
putting
it
it in
into
the
space
atmosphere.
first.
Well, okay, so ignore the Zinker. Toss that plan out the window. I'm just saying, what if we just shoot a missile at the water, blow it up, launch the water in the atmosphere?
It'll melt. Oh, and then the water goes to the atmosphere. Then it'll rain down. You saw. To be fair,
you know what we do? We blow
to
it
your
up
credit,
again.
blow what again? The water? You can't blast water,
Blow
Derek.
up the water again.
But hey, look! I already got the
back.
solution to that. You blasted away the glacier, went into the atmosphere, but now it's gonna rain down in a few days. You bought us a few days. I have the solution. Build a wall. Then when it rains, all the water lands on top of that wall.
There we go, Zinker. We gotta work. We gotta put our boomer plans together.
Got a tough boss battle coming up. Build a wall. Boss can't go through walls. What's up? No, you don't blast it. You just build the wall.
Or you just blast it.
No, just wall building. That's all you need. You'll never need anything more than wall building. And that's the main lesson of today, folks.
So Zinker, what you're saying is that boomer logic can solve any problem.
No. That specific boomer logic can. Yes. I literally said, to their credit, you could solve that problem. You could solve any problem with a wall. But the problem is, you need to have the right wall. Like, you can't half-ass it. Like, what do we got? For immigration, it just goes across, like, one border. That's not every entry. But if we had an extremely tall wall that was, like, slippery, that went around the entire country, you could only get an airplane into the country. That would stop them.
You can use catapults too, but maybe a trebuchet.
Well, I mean, yes, if you
human cannonball.
If in theory you could survive that, Derek, I guess you could just catapult in. Yes, that is fair.
You know what? You earned it. You earned your citizenship.
But here's the deal, Derek. If you really want to stop someone from catapulting in, just build a really high wall. Higher than their catapult can launch.
And you know what? Why don't you build a top wall too?
No, that would make a room. That's the one.
So is your first solution for the spherical wall? Is that just making Earth one big room?
No, it's just a spherical wall, Derek. What? I don't understand. What about this is hard to understand? It's just a wall in that situation. Alright, to be fair though, I mean a room is just a bunch of walls, so like I feel like it's still counted as a wall if you were like you made a room anyways. Not the spherical wall is still just a spherical wall. That's not a room. But I'm just saying, like if you made a room, it really is just a bunch of walls. So like.
Well, Zinker, let me put it this way: if you, I think it still is a room because what a room is you have a floor, you have a ceiling, and then you have walls not surrounding all sides, right?
Yeah, we don't have a ceiling. We just have one big wall that goes around the entire Earth.
Well, that's a ceiling.
No, it's not a ceiling because there's no. If it was a ceiling, then what would the wall be, Derek? Can't have a floating ceiling.
Zinker, it doesn't have to be walls because there's no side. There's no sides.
That's what I'm saying.
So there are walls on all sides because there are no sides.
No, there are no walls. There's just no sides. It's just open.
Yeah.
Proof in the pudding.
Well, there's no sides.
Wall.
So there's wall. So there you could Zinker. There are no sides. Therefore, there are walls on all sides.
That's not how that works.
There's no walls and there's no sides.
That's not. Hold on. Let me get the definition of a room right now. I'm school ya. No, not wall. I know what a wall is. Come on, Google.
He knows what a wall is, he says.
Space that can be occupied or where something can be done, especially viewed in terms of whether there is enough. Well, I feel like that means everything and anything's a wall, including outside. Which, I mean, to be fair, might be the actual definition of a room. But we're not talking about that definition of a room. Let's go to Merriam-Webster. An extent of space occupied by or sufficient or available for something. Oh, a portion part of the inside of a building. Especially such a part used as lodging. Well, that's not very helpful. Huh. These definitions are... Alright, let's try Cambridge English Dictionary. Spell it out for us. A part of the inside of a building that is separated from other parts by walls, floor, and ceiling. Now, if the spherical wall is a wall,
so there's nothing to celebrate.
Walls.
There's nothing to separate. You know what? It is separated because every other thing that's inside is separate from it.
Derek, separated from other parts by walls, floor, and ceiling. You need all three. Floor and ceiling don't count.
We have a floor. Zinker.
Well, technically, we don't even have a floor. But I get what you're going for. The ground is a floor.
Look up the definition of the ceiling.
Okay. I will.
Because your wall is a ceiling. It's just an earth ceiling.
It's the upper interior surface of a room or other similar compartment. But here's the deal. It's not a room. Because there's no walls.
It is a room.
It's not. There's no walls.
You made a room when you put it in a ceiling.
No, because there's no walls.
You know what? You know what the walls are? The walls are our houses. The walls are
no, because those are making rooms.
Or hills.
That's separating. That's separating those rooms from inside the outdoors, Derek. That's not. That doesn't work.
When you go outside, you're just entering the outside room.
Well, according to what the actual definition of what room was, which I said was a space occupied by anything, that technically is true. But like ignoring that definition, just looking at what a room is in terms of like separating it in the house, then no, it would not be that definition that
makes me wrong.
What? Well, Derek, I said technically everything would be a room then. But we're assuming that this is the kind of room that takes away the power of it being just a wall. And that kind of room does not do that. Yes, technically everything is a room. But it's not a room that's made of a wall, ceiling, and floor. It's just everything is a room at that point. By what one of the definitions of room stands for. Like, yes, I understand that would make it a room. Like, that's not my argument here. I don't have beef with what is and isn't a room. I have beef in my wall being just a wall. And the spherical wall is just a wall. And I've proven that today.
So Zinker, let's say I'm outside this wall. Let's say I'm outside of the Earth wall.
You're not going to be doing too well.
I'm outside in space.
There's like 3
walls now. I'm
holding
holding my breath. I open the door in the space wall in the outer space wall to come into the Earth. Did I enter a room? Did I leave, or did I? Because I clearly didn't leave a room. So did I enter a room or did I?
No, Derek, you can have a door on a wall that doesn't just because you walk through a door doesn't mean you've entered a room. That's not what door means. Is it what door means?
Yes, but Zinker, I went from an open space to an enclosed space. Because this is an enclosed space now.
It is enclosed, yes.
Well, it's enclosed once I close the door.
But it's not a room. I don't know what you want. That's... Yeah, you walked...
It's a 100% your room.
It's not! We just went over wall, ceiling, and room, there's no walls. If the spherical wall is the ceiling.
You know what, Zinker? I wish I was taking a UP2 right now because, like, there were plenty of times where we had to talk about, like, electromagnetic activity. Like, if you have, like, a solid core, and then outside of that you have, like, a shell, and, like, if there's, like, electrical energy, like, within there, and, like, flux and stuff. I wish I was in physics solely so I could ask my professor, okay, I understand that there's, like, you know, like, flux and shit going around this wall. But is that a room? Or
like, no, of course it's not a room. There's no walls. If it... or sorry, no, there's no ceiling. The spherical wall is a wall. It's not a ceiling.
It's 100% a ceiling.
It's not. It's just a wall.
Okay, Zinker, if I stand on the outside of the space wall and I hold my breath before I open the door, am I standing on the ceiling? Am I standing on the floor? Or am I standing on the wall?
Also, how are you standing on anything in space? That's my first question.
Well, there's still gravitational pull
of the planet, not the wall.
Okay, Zinker. So the wall would, assuming like you calculate this and somehow manage to make it work, the space wall,
spherical wall, please.
Still be with the spherical wall. This quote unquote spherical wall.
I can just imagine a fucking like animation of this where we're just sitting at podiums and I'm like the spherical wall and you just like glare at me and you're like, okay, the spherical wall.
The spherical wall.
Yeah.
Presumably, if you center it correctly around the Earth, you could potentially center it where the gravitational pull at all points of the sphere is equalized by the gravitational, essentially the gravitational, or by essentially the resulting opposite force of basically everything's pulling inward. It should bounce outward. Or you could build several. Well, at Zinker, you use the glowing walls to support it too.
Exactly.
So, well, Zinker, that's the thing. But if we have the glowing walls supporting it, then we have a room.
I was literally just thinking about that. Like, if we do that, would that make it a room? Because if it's a pillar, it's not a room.
Yes.
But if you make a wall, would it technically?
Well, we're making glowing walls, Zinker. We're not making
definition.
pillars.
Okay, hold on. A part of the inside of a building that is separated from other parts by walls, floor, and ceiling. So no, by this definition, it would not be, because those walls would not be separating anything. Okay.
Zinker, well, the walls are Zinker. These walls, these glowing walls, presumably, like, they're going to have sections.
Well, no, the
like,
glowing walls,
like,
it's just an inner spherical wall, Derek.
Why do we have more spherical walls?
Well, because we need to...
Why didn't we just make the first one glow?
When we build the first wall, it'll be dark, so we need light around the entire Earth, so we build an inner spherical wall. And then the third spherical wall is to prevent rain for when global warming does happen. I guess you might need a fourth to turn on the lights again, but that's fine.
I feel like we've created several problems in the process.
With Derek, any problem we create, we can fix with a wall. So I'm not worried.
Zinker, at some point, there'll be so many walls where it becomes solid between the outside and the inside, and then we just have more structure. We just have more solid Earth.
Ugh.
Then you have the core. You have you have the core, you have the mantle, you have the crust, and then you have the walls.
You know what sucks? If you really want to make
Your plan?
the whole Earth an entire room, all you'd have to do is build 4 walls connected to each other straight up, and then you'd make the whole Earth a room.
Well, you make 4 rooms.
No, you'd make 2 rooms. Your math is off.
Are you just making one? Are you just like making one wall? I guess you're making one wall that goes straight around. For some reason, I was making
No.
I was making
You just
2
4
walls.
walls, right? Like you make a very tiny room. It basically like a pillar, but it's just walls. So that makes a room on the inside, but also it makes a room on the outside, which is also actually the inside now because you've made 4 walls. You've enclosed that space.
Yes,
in
which
walls.
is what I said. Your inner glowing wall would do.
It would not if you did not connect it to any other wall. If you did not connect it to 4 walls, it would need to. It would need to connect the 4 walls
Zinker,
to intersect with another wall. And even
So
then,
Zinker,
that
it still
doesn't.
kind of constitutes a room because like you don't have to have a door to make a room. You don't have to be able to. You don't have to be able to.
You don't
shut,
need a door.
to like completely
You
shut
just
off.
need,
of,
according
like,
to this definition,
you don't need a door.
you need walls, floor, and a ceiling. Assuming the Earth is the floor, and the spherical wall would become the ceiling in the situation.
Well, the outer wall is the ceiling. You don't have to. I'm saying that the inner walls like don't have to connect to the ceiling for it to become a room, because you can still have an open section between them. At this point, you have a ceiling, though the walls aren't connected to it. That you have
It
a
doesn't
floor
make
and you
a
have
room.
4 walls. That is a room.
No, it does because you need it to be enclosed. Well, it doesn't say enclosed. It needs to be part of inside a building and separated from other
It
parts
is enclosed.
by walls. It has to be separated by something. If you
It's
just have
separated by walls
walls
here.
as supporting pillars, it's not separating anything. I guess if you made like a small room, that would technically separate a bunch of things, yes. So I think you could consider it a room by this definition. But like, if you just made a bunch of like singular
Even if
walls
I-
that go straight up,
So Zinker, let's say
then I
the
guess a house would
spherical
make it.
wall is.
nah, I don't think so. I don't think it would.
Let's
do
say Let's say the spherical wall is 100 feet above the surface of the Earth.
that.
Let's say I put 4 20-foot walls surrounding me. Like,
Yes,
they
that makes
go
2
20
rooms.
feet
That's
up.
what I just said earlier. Wait, 20-foot walls?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's not
Yeah,
separated.
even if they're not quite touching,
Where's your ceiling?
it is separated.
From what? Where's your ceiling? It's not separated.
It's the spherical wall.
So you're building it all the way to touch the spherical
is the
wall.
ceiling. No, it doesn't have to touch it. It just
It
has
does. Then
I'm
there's
just
no
sectioning
ceiling.
off.
It's not separated, buddy. Well, no, sorry. Even if you consider a spherical wall a ceiling, it doesn't matter because it's not separated from the other parts.
The ceiling, like, you can still have Zinker. The ceiling doesn't have to connect to it to be a ceiling.
Derek, the part of the definition you're missing is the word separated. So if you have a very big blank space between those 4 sections of walls and the spherical wall, ceiling in this case, it is not separated, which means it's not a room.
Well, what's the percentage I have to have cut off? Then what's the percentage of like
You'd have to go all the way up to the
of
spherical
like
wall.
area cut off?
The moment you've separated the not enclosed space with the enclosed space, you created enclosed space and also technically create another enclosed space around the entire Earth. You made 2 rooms.
I have Zinker. In this scenario, I have more space cut off from the rest of. I have more space cut off from the rest of the world than I don't.
It's not cut off. If the ceiling is not connected,
It is cut off because there's 4 walls around me.
Derek, you can go in from above. Think of it this way: if I poured water, no, Derek, think of it this way: if I poured water on the entirety of the Earth and it slowly flooded, it would flood your room because it's not separated. In order to separate, you should not get flooded at all.
Yeah, and I left the
cracks
fucking
and
door
stuff.
open, you'd flood my room too. If I had a ceiling and I left the door open, you'd flood too.
Yes, Derek. I know,
It's still a different
but
room.
like, a door is made so you could go between
It's still
walls.
different, Zinker. It's still a different room. It's yeah.
No,
Yes, but Zinker,
Derek,
some-
it needs to be
but some places-
separated.
Some,
I'm
some rooms don't have doors. Some rooms don't
Some
have
rooms
doors.
don't have doors. That's correct. It doesn't need a door. It needs to be separated. What?
Yeah,
what are you
my
not
room doesn't have a door.
understanding of this?
My room is.
You need to
yes,
take
but Zinker,
math
it's still
again there.
separated. It is
It's
separated.
not.
I just don't have I just don't have anything. I don't have
Which
anything at
means
the
it's
top
not
of the
separated.
At the top of the walls.
Which means it's not
There's
separated.
Still a ceiling.
It's not separated enough. No, because there's no ceiling. Derek, if you poured water in the earth, it would fill up that room. Not even a room, but that room in air quotations.
Zinker, please do not become an architect. Please do not look into architect jobs.
Derek, right now, I mean, an architect would probably tell me I'm wrong and this whole conversation is stupid, which is fair. But from a realistic scenario, like, what you described is not considered separated, mathematically speaking, because it's still open. The water would fill up, and it would fill into your room because it's not separated. If you had it enclosed, barring like cracks for doors and stuff like that, it would not like. I get in a realistic scenario it would flood anyways.
If I put a ceiling on this room and then I cut a hole in it, then is it not a room?
If you cut a hole in it, no, it's not a room.
If I cut a small hole in my ceiling.
You cut a small hole in your ceiling. Technically speaking, by the definition of what the room is presented here, no.
Okay, but if I cut a hole in the wall, then it's still a room.
No. You put a door in the wall.
What if okay, so I open the door.
Does it stop being a room?
Does it cease to be a room while the door is open?
This definition doesn't go in depth enough for me to honestly tell you to tell you the answer to that. I think that's a little too far into it. Like, even if you like, I understand that, like, technically speaking, if you just punctured like a tiny little hole in this, it would technically, by the definition presented here, no longer be separated and thereby no longer be a room. But I think
that's because that definition's stupid.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not for that. Like, it's not like you put a tiny puncture, it's no longer a room. But it's saying it's a part of the inside of the building is separated from the other parts by the walls. My point with your ceiling, though, is there just was none that actually separated it. It was still open to the rest of the world. Even if it was separated by normal means, it was still open on one end. Like a door you can close, a window you can close, a hole you could tape up. You could have gone into you could get into your room without having to take a door or a window.
But Zinker, let me put it this way: when I if I enter the living room from my kitchen, I don't open any doors. I walk through an open space.
That's one room. That's what that means. That's tough shit.
No, it's 2 rooms.
No, it's 1 room because you didn't go through a door. It's not separated. That would be 1 room.
It doesn't have to be 100% separated. It just has to mostly be separated.
No, it has to be separate. According to this definition of room, it has to be separated.
Yeah,
thereby they are 1 room.
The definition you have there is stupid.
It's not from the Cambridge. I will admit it's from the Cambridge English Dictionary. Who fucking knows what Cambridge is doing?
The other definitions we looked at, you wrote off because they didn't align with what you were trying to
I didn't
prove.
Write them off. They didn't quite like work specifically. I mean,
for
like
what you were going for.
They didn't specify enough. Like, actually, maybe it does. What the fuck does a partition?
I feel like we gotta move on.
This is Merriam-Webster. I always use Merriam-Webster. A partition, part of the inside of a building.
A partition is just like something
right
partially
now.
separating.
The action of parting. Okay, thank you. Something that divides, especially an interior dividing wall. One of the parts or sections of a whole. Hold on. A point of separation or a divergence. Okay, so partition right here. A point of separation, divergence. I'm guessing it's not the other one. A place or time at which a choice must be made. A point of separation or divergence. So it has to say it's same thing. It has to be separate.
Zinker, you know that wall between like your living room and your kitchen? It's like that. Or like
Yeah,
you know,
no,
like
that's
the, or
one
like
room.
the first
That's
room
the
you
wall I'm
enter.
thinking of. That's one room. Also, that is actually one room. I consider it one room.
I would consider it 2 rooms if I were.
Well, my
Zinker,
definition backs up
if
me.
you were to ask,
You don't have something
you
that
were to
backs
ask-
up you. We
I
aren't even
do, it's the
playing
one that
anymore.
says
I'm
it's
just standing
divided by
here
a
waiting to end
partition,
the
'cause
episode.
that's a partition.
No,
Zinker, if you were to ask me,
not separate.
if you were downstairs and you asked me which room I was in, and I was in the kitchen, either in the I was in the or where I would leave my shoes, I would tell you I am in the what I assume is a living room. If I was in the
Derek,
kitchen, I would tell you I'm in the kitchen.
Please refer to it as its name, which is the mud/kitchen/dining/other dining/computer room.
Yeah. This is Zinker. This is why the definition of room includes partition, is so we don't have to. So we don't.
No, I just went over what a partition is.
Denote rooms in such ways. It's so we can break down what a room is.
It's gotta be separate.
Or
Parting.
rooms.
A point of separation, divergence. Something that divides. That one doesn't specify enough. That one would suggest like that. Maybe with that one, like it works for you. That's it. Like that's all I got. But like, according to the first one, it would be what I said. It has to be separate. According to the second one, it just says something that divides. Which fuck. Let me go to the room again. Let me just copy this and put it into another one. So I have all 3. Right. A partition part of the inside of a building. So, something that divides. I wish that one. Especially an interior dividing wall. So a partition would be a wall itself, in that definition, I think. What's the third one? One of the parts or sections of a whole. The estate was divided into 3 partitions. That's that. Let me look at verb.
So Zinker, if I
wait, no, it's gotta be verb.
Zinker,
it's a verb used in the definition. Hold on, wait. This is key. This is key. To divide into parts or shares, that's not helpful. To separate or divide by a partition, such as a wall. Why does it use partition in the definition?
A flat wall.
It says to separate or divide.
That doesn't.
Okay, but it has to be separate. It says it in the definition. It's right there. I was even giving you a chance. I went through all the definitions, buddy. But it's right there. It has to be separate. They're technically all one room.
If you uninstall a door, you don't suddenly connect rooms.
What?
You don't suddenly make 2 rooms into 1 room. If you
uninstall
a door.
But a door is just something that exists inside. Like, it's still separate by a wall. The door is part of a wall. It's just open. I would think.
Yes,
I would
but
think
Zinker,
but
Zinker, if I take a door out, if I just remove the door entirely,
then you've made
and I
one
leave that
room.
gap there.
Or I've gotten rid of rooms to the outside.
Zinker, if I build my house on top of the glowing wall that doesn't extend to the space wall, do I live in a sandwich?
Your floor would be the light source, buddy. That'd be so weird. Your shadow would always be above you.
Did you hear what I said?
No.
It was damn. Zinker, if I build my house on the glowing wall, which doesn't reach the space, which doesn't extend to the space wall, do I live in a sandwich?
Well, I mean, are the 2 walls... Wait. What was... I'm not going into the definition of sandwich, but doesn't it have to be 2 slices of bread? The answer is yes, if they're 2 slices of bread, somehow, that are also walls, and no otherwise. Oh, wait! Money! Could be money. We determined that bread also means money, by definition of bread. Okay, so here's the facts. For my side and for your side.
You stake way too much on like the sole dictionary definition.
By the 3rd definition of room, by the 1st definition of room, everything. It's just an extent of space occupied by or sufficient or available for something. That's like everything. What's the second definition? It says obsolete. An appropriate or designed position post a station. I don't think that applies here. I could be wrong. Mine is the third, so let me go to the fourth real quick. A suitable fit, a suitable or occasion or for opportunity, like room for change. Yeah, no. All right. Or no room for doubt, whatever. That doesn't apply here. So the definition of room we're looking at, number 3, which has an A and B, a partition part of the inside of a building, or B, the people in the room. Obviously, we're not talking about B, so it's A. And then if we go to partition, now they're using partitions like a verb, right? That's not a noun, that's a verb. So that gives us the 2 definitions of partition right here, which is 1, which is to divide into parts or shares. That's 1A. 1B is to divide a place such as a country into 2 or more territorial units having separate political status. Don't think so. Maybe on 1A, I think that might work for you. But according to the second definition of partition, you need to separate. So if we're going by that, for the room definition that we have, and it's got to be 3, then a room needs to be separate. So if there's a hole in it of any sort, that's not like a window, it's not a door.
Separate is not a concrete definition itself. Separate.
We could get the concrete definition of separate if you want, but I don't think it's gonna help you. This is the rest of the episode. If you guys are waiting for me to it's gameplay time, it's not. It's settling this stupid funny debate. This stupid thing turned into an actual debate about words. I need Merriam-Webster, please. Merriam-Webster. I guess this isn't IMO, but like Merriam-Webster's like a pretty solid one for definitions. I would use them. Just saying, they're the ones I always go by.
At the U.S. Department of Housing.
To set or keep apart. To make a distinction between.
They don't seem to have like definitions of walls.
Archaic, to set aside for let me see here. Okay, so hold on. Is this to set? It's a verb, so it's got to be the verb definitions. We have 6. Holy shit!
If we build a space wall, does Earth become a wrap?
Yes. I don't know what the hell that is. Oh, a wrap. I gotcha. Yes. 1.
A hot pocket.
To set or keep apart, which would go with me. 2, 1B, which would go with you, actually, to make a distinction between. So I think that would work for you.
Yes.
So maybe.
Which is why it's not concrete.
Well, maybe we're both right. I don't know. So there you go.
It's too loose a definition. It's too loose of a definition to come to a solid conclusion.
Well. Here's the deal, though, because we don't even need to have this discussion, because it's not even a ceiling, it's a spherical wall. Next time on Speletons. And just that. Bye-bye!
I gotta get some water.